Hey yo guys, welcome to another edition of Listed. As you can tell, I got a haircut and it looks pretty good. So anyway, let's just get into Listed. This week's Listed, which is the third installment of Listed, will be the top 20 greatest dream matches. Okay, so anyway, match number 20 would be Big Van Vader versus Samoa Joe. This match I personally would like to see. I don't know about most people, but I would like to see this because Vader is one of the best big men of all time in the history of professional wrestling, versus Joe, who's probably like the next greatest big man of all time. So I would just like to see this because both men can fly around the ring for such heavy physiques, and they can just do anything. I mean, I would take Joe to win. I bet you Joe would win with a muscle buster into a coquina clutch, just because I think Vader could pull it off with the help of Joe. Obviously, doing that. But anyway, so that's match number 20 is Vader versus Samoa Joe. Match number 19 is Samoa Joe versus Umaga. I think most people would like to see this match just because it could have been Joe's gimmick if he had signed with WWE, or if Vince had wanted Joe to be signed there. So I would obviously take Joe to wipe the floor with Umaga. I mean, Umaga is pretty, but he's like nowhere near Joe. I would just take Joe to win within 5 minutes probably. So anyway, that's match 19. Samoa Joe versus Umaga. Match number 18 is the rated R superstar Edge versus Ramon in a ladder match. Now that'll be a damn good ladder match. Now some should say this should be Shawn Michaels. Personally, I just like to see how these two would contrast in there. I think Edge is the best ladder match wrestler to date, and Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, whatever you want to call him, is probably the man who invented the ladder matches. I mean, Shawn Michaels pretty much did make them better, but that was also part of his selling job. But I think Razor would do damn good in this match. So anyway, I would take Edge to win though. I think Edge would like spear him off like the ladder and then just grab what up there. So match 18 is Razor Ramon versus Edge. Match number 17 is the Iron Sheik versus the Sheik. I would like to just see these two contrast in styles because I don't know. Isn't the Sheik is from where now, guys? Isn't he from India or Jordan? I think he's from Jordan. Or no, he's from Cyprus. That's where he's from. And the Sheik we know is from Iran. I just like to see these two go at it, like for the battle of who's the best Sheik in wrestling. Sheik to win, just because he'd like burn the Iron Sheik with a fireball and make the Iron Sheik think about this. So anyway, match 17 is the Iron Sheik versus the Sheik. Match number 16 is the Undertaker versus, or not the Undertaker, Kane versus Abyss. Now, we have wanted to see this probably for a while, since most people say that Abyss is ripped off of Kane, which is true, partly true, just a mix of mankind. I would take Abyss in this. Abyss is the best big man wrestler. Like, he's like the toughest to go against compared to Andre the Giant. So some people have said. I would take Abyss to win. I think Kane is damn good. If it had been Kane from like 98, probably would have taken Kane, but I think Abyss right now would just dominate Kane. So yeah, I mean, he'd hit him with a black hole slam out of nowhere and just win it. So anyway, it'd be Abyss, and that was match number 16. Match number 15 is the Hardy Boys versus the Rockers. Now this match would be cool because we have the Rockers, one of the best high-flying tag teams ever, and they were the tag team specialists, however, versus the Hardy Boys, who are considered today the modern Rockers. So, you know, it would just be a great mix in style, like great high-flying, great technical wrestling, great anything. I don't know. I would probably take the Hardys to win. The first to win a match in this, even though it never happened. But anyway, Hardys versus the Rockers. That would be it. Match number 14 is Team 3D versus the Legion of Doom. Now, I know I would like to see this. I know the Legion of Doom would like to do it. I think TNA is kind of doing it with the Steiners versus Team 3D, but whatever. I would take LOD to win, just because LOD is fucking sweet, and they're just yeah, they're just fucking too sweet to win, and they're one of the most heavy-hitting teams in the history of wrestling, so that's why they would win. I think they just overpower the Team 3D. So anyway, match number 14 was Team 3D versus Legion of Doom. Match number 13 is Vince McMahon versus Eric Bischoff. Oh, how we have seen this before, but let's just take it back when these two going at each other with companies. Now, even though this could have happened in WCW, I would have really liked to see this. I don't know. I mean, Bischoff is a black belt, but Vince does potato people. But I don't know, maybe Vince would win. I mean, Hogan has said Vince would have just owned Eric Bischoff. I think Vince would have. I think Vince would have just came out of nowhere and just potatoed the fuck out of Eric Bischoff. To be honest with you, I think that. So anyway, match number 3 is Vince McMahon versus Eric Bischoff. Just imagine that in '98. Oh my god. Pay-per-view buy rates would have been through the roof. But anyway, now, match number 12 would be a very interesting match. We have Teddy Hart versus the Rocket Owen Hart. Now, this would be a damn good match because Owen did train Teddy. Teddy Hart knew how to do a moonsault at the age of 10, so that's pretty impressive. We have great technical wrestling. Teddy Hart and Owen's high flying. We have all that in a great match, but I would take Owen to win. Owen was a bit bigger. Let's give Owen the size advantage there, and he would just win with the sharpshooter when Teddy was trying to fly around. Although Teddy could get pissed about the decision and just not sell anything because he's a big asshole. So anyway, match 12 is Teddy Hart versus Owen Hart. Match 11 in part 1 of listed is Ken Shamrock versus Kurt in a submission match. Oh, how I have wanted to see this match. Ever since Shamrock came in '97 and introduced the ankle lock to me, I was like, wow, that's the best move ever. And then, or best submission move since the sharpshooter. And then there's Angle, who puts a new twist by like lying down and trapping your legs so you can't get up and still doing the ankle lock. I would like to see this because Ken Shamrock, a legend in UFC, Kurt Angle, an Olympic gold medalist, we would have a fucking awesome. I would take Angle to win though. Just because Angle is an Olympic wrestler and he would just out-wrestle and outwork Shamrock. Because Shamrock, I think his times are behind him in UFC and wrestling. So hopefully he just sticks to training. So anyway, match 11, Ken Shamrock versus Kurt Angle. And this has been part 1 of listed top 20 greatest dream matches.